Hey everyone, today super exciting to have with us Mikita from Skarbe. How you doing, Mikita?
Yeah, oh, great. Thanks for having me, quite.
Yeah, for sure. So Skarbe is a super unique and interesting company. Excited to dive into. But first, introduce yourself a little bit, Mikita. Where have you been in your career, and what kind of brought you to this point?
Yeah, of course. I think I was dreaming to become an entrepreneur since I was a kid. But during my lifetime, I've been working in advertising agency, publicist group. I've been working in tech, in B2B SaaS unicorn named PandaDog. So I've been there for 6 years, from 10 mil to 100 mil. I was building, I was driving product market fit expansion. So I was a director of product management there. Also, I had my own company. I had my own brick and mortar business. So we were selling professional music equipment. It was quite a big company, 20 people, three offline stores. I was responsible for marketing, brand, and B2B sales. And actually, I was working with lots of small businesses myself during my time in PandaDoc. I've talked to way too many founders and small teams, and that's where we realized. So this is like a shift towards where we are right now. So what we do at Skarbe, we actually realized that the small man, like the small business, is left without a tool. So they either have to use big clunky CRMs to do the sales, which means that they have kind of like a second job, while you have like five hats to wear. You have so many things to do, and then those big enterprise-ish solutions, they expect you to spend the whole day in their software, and because those are built for big teams with all those unnecessary features. So you either have to spend time there, or you have spreadsheets, and we call it like DIY, CRMs or DIY sales stack, which both options are not ideal for busy founders, especially today when the pace of everything is just insane. So we've seen this huge kind of problem that is not being solved for so many entrepreneurs, business people, business owners, founders, builders out there. And it makes them hate sales. While having conversations with over 100 of founders, we've learned that they not actually hate sales, they hate CRMs. They hate the way they do sales. So the solution that we've built, we actually built for ourselves, and it essentially not a CRM. It's anti-CRM. It's the assistant that sits on top of your data and suggests next steps based on all the context, all the previous actions. And this is as easy as it is. So it just connect it and you get your next step, next suggestions, and then you just, move the deal forward.
Interesting. So, I mean, to take this from my perspective, I'm doing these podcasts. It'd be able to tell me, okay, you need to follow up with this person. You need to publish this video. It kind of just, it's like my personal assistant almost, or, how would that apply
Yeah,
for that circumstance?
yeah, exactly. So you got it right. So just a few hours ago today, I had a conversation with a guy who wanted to apply our tool, our software to medical services. And it's essentially the same. So medical practitioners, they need to follow up with their patients, and they may forget about it, they may miss the deadline or whatever, because they have so many notes, they have so many things to do, and like they were looking for a solution that can organize their workflow on autopilot. So essentially, that it, of course, it can be applied for many niches, many in many ways, but we focus specifically on small businesses, on entrepreneurs, on small teams, and it's not about tech companies only. So it's not, I've talking to so many like normal businesses, productions, like producers of goods, resellers, and so on. So essentially, that's the goal. We want to make the sales process for those people really easy. So non-sales professionals can sell without CRM.
Okay. And, I'm curious how the early days of this looked. I mean, you had this great idea. You wanted to solve this pretty big and complicated problem. What was the experimentation and validation like for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So it didn't happen overnight. So we've spent more than a year in so-called product market fit founders cave. So it was very lonely there. It was very hard. And yeah, so going back to 2023, um, we started this with my co-founder Alex. He was based in San Francisco. He was working in big scale AI startups. Then he moved to Mexico City, and he was building kind of projects like indie projects. And we've been building some indie projects with him, but none of those projects really brought us anywhere. So one day he just called me and said, "Hey, Mikita, I have something to show you." And he showed me some early prototype of what Skarbe is today. He was applying it for to help his sister to study in the university. So that's where it all started. And then like I had this immense background in B2B and B2B sales. I know how the process exists and where the problem is. So I said like, hey, we need to think about the other way to apply it, maybe in B2B, and build a SaaS. So we started to experiment. That was a side project, side gig that we were working on late nights, weekends, until we get some early traction, some early users. Of course, friends, family, and closest circle, Reddit as well. So it helped us to drive some initial interest to the product. And then later in 2024, I left PandaDoc in March. So it was like I left my 9 to 5 because it was clear to me that I can't combine both things. So I mean, I have a full-time job and I have this gig. So at some point you need to decide. And I had to have this skin in the game. So I had to, if there was no skin in the game, I would really make it very slow. So I had some savings and we took this risk. So during the next 9 months, I was looking for funding for the product, and we were doing the pivots. We were experimenting with clients. Like, we just had like a 9 months of runway of our own cash, and we got some first angels that supported us. And then we closed the round, pre-seed round with the institutional investor, and we actually closed it to make this vision a reality. So we wanted to help small businesses to close deals without a CRM. But during that time, we actually pivoted from kind of data analysis tool or an assistant for CRMs to being the assistant that helped to sell without the CRM. So when we tried to sell it to professional sellers, we quickly realized that it doesn't work. So those professional sellers, they don't need such tool because it actually replicates what they do. That's their full-time job. So they spend the whole day doing sales in CRMs, and that's fine. And there are like a lot of other tools that can do that. And we don't want to become another AI CRM. So what we've done instead, we decided to build a very simple, very easy, no setup tool that founders, entrepreneurs, and small businesses can run, especially in today's economy when so many new companies, new small businesses are being created every day. So we want to fuel this new economy that we see rising right now with a tool that can support small businesses and help them from the moment when when they got intent from their customers, when somebody is interested in them, until they close them.
I think what you said, how you guys made it easy to use, is super key, especially since a lot of business owners, especially entrepreneurs, are hesitant to move into new technologies, even some AI type tools. I'm curious. Then again, looking at it from my perspective, if I was to get this, what's the interface look like? I know it's working with my emails and calendar. How does it communicate back to me? What is that product like?
Okay, cool. So yeah, I welcome everyone to test it out because we have a free version as well as a free trial, so anyone can test it on their own without any commitments. But essentially, Alex, my CTO, co-founder, he's obsessed with design easiness of use. So he constantly challenges me on when, like any very intense CEO, I'm very much have a lot of new ideas, and I get a lot of feedback. I talk to many people, so I can bombard the team with a lot of new requests, ideas, and so on. And he cuts me off. He keeps the product easy and essentially simple to use, and I really respect that. So he always challenges me. And the vision that we have is actually, it should be a very simple UI. It should be it should feel like a single screen. So it should be like an inbox where you have all your communication coming in, and our system can qualify those contacts that are coming in and suggest you next steps. Right now, we have several pages. So the interface is not a single page, which is going to be the next iteration. So unlike many other tools like Apollo and other, big solutions, we don't want to add new features or new screens. We want to cut everything and make it as simple as possible. So what you can use there is actually you have a For You screen where you have a chat where you can ask whatever you want, like, what should I do today? Help me to write a follow-up to Mikita, and so on. And AI will do this and will craft an email. You can comment, so you can chat with your sales data. Then you have your next meetings. You can join them so you won't forget what's coming next. And then the essential part of the app, on the home screen, you have suggested next steps. So those are specific actions that you need to take. And instead of, writing them all over the place or forgetting them or missing them, you have everything in one place. So I usually start the day, I'm just opening my For You page. I see the next actions like follow up with this person, send an email to this person, schedule a meeting with this person, answer to this email. And I do this with few clicks, click, 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 click. If I need more context, then I click on their name and I dive deep into the timeline where like we store all the data about the person, for example, like a customer or potential lead within a timeline. So you can scroll it down, you'll see all the communication, all the emails sent back and forth, all the messages, and even meetings. Everything's stored there. So you can add manual tasks, you can regenerate suggested next steps. And the system, it fills in the data. So if you add a company, it will populate the company data from the web. If you want to do if you want to get more information, reach the data about the contact, you can do that. And our AI agent will go to the web and check the information about the person, which is publicly available, and the industry and the company. It also will enrich the context of this person and the deal. So all this kind of heavy stuff is hidden, while on top of it, you see just the next step. That's the essential piece that helps you to drive, your deal forward, drive your business forward without diving deep into conversations and reading all the emails.
And, I'm gonna have to download this right away, 'cause I feel like for years people have just been kind of stuck in, I feel like emails is kind of an older system. You have to go over your calendar, hop between all these different systems. This really does seem like kind of that next step forward, to bring all these information systems together. Do you feel like the companies you're working with have really enjoyed and benefited from these products?
Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many companies out there are using spreadsheets to manage all their communication with clients. And of course, it's not really it's not only hard to sustain, but also it's a mess. So I think it doesn't work for more than 3-5 deals in a row. So you will stop filling in the cells. You will miss the information. You won't do the follow-ups, of course. And anyone who've done sales know that specific next steps is the key. So whenever anything happens, you need to lead the deal towards the closure. So all you need to do is to make sure that everything is super clear. Next step is cleared out for everyone, and you just need to make sure that it happens. That's it. So what we've done, we've made it essentially the easiest way for you to understand, here are your contacts, here are your next steps. That's it. But in order to build this, we of course built the infrastructure. We've used different LLMs. We've used different agents under the hood to make it work. And our existing customers, they already, I think we have around 70% of daily active users from the paid customers, which means that people are using it daily a lot. So we have power users, we have people who are really recommending Skarbe to other customers and to other people. We have Discord. We just recently created it because we have so many kind of ideas and feedback from people, and we need to, work with this. So yeah, I feel like we are into something, and once we found the specific niche that is underserved and the product that solves the specific pain that is high enough, high frequency, high friction pain, the whole thing started to work.
Yeah, I like how you guys are involving, the companies that you're help, using them to make the product better. I'm kind of curious, looking forward, what's the future for Skarbe? What are you guys working on? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, of course. So right now, our mission is to make the next step super clear and automated, but we still have a human in the loop. So with AI today, you can't really put the responsibility on AI. So whenever you send an email, we draft an email that sounds like you, that use all the information from previous conversations, that can be in 100 plus languages, but it's still gonna be you who gonna click on the send button, right? But what we're working on right now is actually a way to learn on the data from your workspace and to make the agents that can execute specific small tasks on your behalf. So, for example, at some point of time, you would be able to put your response on autopilot, and at some point, once the LLM will learn enough on your data, on your workspace data, isolated, it will be able to respond to your emails on your behalf. But if it doesn't know what to say, it will send you a message and say, "Hey, help me to, I don't know what to say here." So this is the thing that we working towards to, also like simplifying the UI. So it should be very simple, just contacts and next steps plus goals. We want to get rid of deals and all the terminology that professional salespeople use. So right now we want to make it more playful, easy, and we call it so-called vibe sales. So like vibe coding is more about the way you can do the sales on on the vibe, on the go. So it should be super easy, super streamlined, so you can focus on other stuff, not doing the full-time job sale.
Interesting. So you guys are almost allowing people to create their own like AI agents of themselves to act on their
Uh,
behalf. Or how would you
well,
describe it?
well said, well said. I didn't think about this in that way, but I think that's essentially where we will move with all the software on the market. So it should be you. It should be kind of like a version of you that can produce specific actions, and those can be not just simply automated as trigger action. Those should be more in context of what happening with, with your business, with your customer, and so on. So yeah, but right now it also works that way. Well, we have a certain level of personalization plus all the context from the deal and the contact, and as a result, we get pretty good emails, and the quality of those drafts are really awesome. Suggestions are also improving over time, but of course, as we are in AI world, but everything is moving like super quickly. We are looking into the ways how to simplify it even further.
Okay, okay. So, I mean, you guys have a great product. You guys have some great and super interesting plans coming up. Sometimes these companies that are growing really fast, they struggle with funding or even, uh, you know, charging the correct amounts for their services. Just overall, what's your guys' plan to keep scaling smoothly and keep improving the product?
Yeah, so we're trying to stay lean and small. So that's, the DNA of the company. So right now the team is just four full-time employees and two part-time, and those are the core team that we don't plan to scale it further right now because we don't need more people because of the AI adoption. So we all use AI a lot, which streamlines things and make things simpler. And I have like some fellow founders I'm talking to, those folks are able to scale their businesses up to millions in ARR, being just five people. And that's completely possible today. It's more about the distribution channels, product market fit, and efficiency. So, yes, we raised the pre seed round. And right now we're figuring out the go to market fit. So, we have this product market fit, we're scaling the channels that we use and we're testing the waters right now with PLG. We started to test the new channels, and at some point we plan to raise the seed round later this year. So of course we will need financing. We are on this VC road already, so it's not a bootstrap business.
Hmm. Um, you know, overall, you've shared this great product. If you could give, as we wrap up, let's say I'm someone who just heard about you guys, maybe through this podcast. What's the easiest way to sign up and get rolling on this?
Oh yeah, great question. So the easiest way is just to go on the website skarbe.com and sign up. So it's essentially we have a free version, but it's very limited just to understand how the platform works. So I suggest anyone who wants to try it, go with the Pro Plan 7-day trial, which is free, so you can opt out anytime. But it has higher limits, it has reports, it has contact enrichment and all the stuff, so you can explore the full potential of the platform without being locked into the pricing, whatever. So, and it's essentially it's very inexpensive. So we want to keep it simple and also affordable. So we don't have seat-based pricing. So you don't pay for seats, you pay for usage. So you pay for what the value is. And there is a starter plan for people who want to test it out for solopreneurs and small, usage. And there is a pro plan for more established teams, like few people in the team. And there is a business plan, which is a custom plan that we can adjust to any business of any size. But we are focused on small businesses. So most of our companies of our clients are up to 50 full-time employees. But the core audience is actually 2 to 10, 2 to 11. So it's like essentially small businesses, not necessarily from tech, but also from tech. And there are a lot of ICs, like people who do many things, but they have to do sales. So they need somebody, they need a second brain that will tell them what to do, that will shadow that.
Thank you so much, Mikita, for joining us today and tell us about Skarbe and all the things you guys are doing. Before we close up, is there anything else you'd want to share or people should know about Skarbe?
Yeah, I think that's it. Not much I can add. Like also, I see a lot of value from people sharing experience with each other. So I also prepared a founder-led sales guide that is based on my personal experience in finding product market fit for several product lines in the B2B SaaS unicorn and working towards Skarbe. So I'm sharing this founder-led sales guide for free, and yeah, you can share it in comments or however you're gonna share the podcast, and also like a Google document that has a table of content and has templates of interviews, mistakes I've made, things I would suggest to avoid, and things that I would suggest to do that helped me. And I'm constantly improving this document, so I'm sharing it with the community. Lots of people gave me feedback on it, so yeah, I'm happy to share it across the web so people can use it.
Perfect. Well, that'd be great. Thank you so much. We'll be sure to include that in the description of either the YouTube video or the podcast on Spotify. But thanks again so much, Mikita, for joining us today. And thanks for all you shared.
Yeah, thank you for having me.